Yeah, I've been meaning to get that started, but I don't know. Time
Some
permits, I
number
guess.
of something.
Yeah. Well, from what I remember, last time you guys were, well, you just hit up that watchtower, right?
Yeah.
Yep, and we erased them under a blanket of silence
Right.
in the night. So,
No
And I,
noise for you.
and I think you guys currently posted the bodies to make it look like they're
yep,
still on guard,
propped them
Attempted to
up.
maybe.
do so, yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Rindlethal went off in a little scouting, and you found a cave and found what was it a jar of brain
Brains
Brains,
matter
of
or
some
something?
sort. Yeah.
Foul smelling jar of brain matter.
Right.
Um,
Have no idea what it was in there for, but
right. Let's see. What else was there? I think that's where we left off before Doug signed off. I think that's where we left off, where you guys are still, well, yeah, where you guys are still in the, because you came back to the watchtower, right? Are you guys like all in the
kind
watch?
of. But I thought we were kind of laying real low, like below the railing type of thing.
Well, I was at the base of the watchtower on the campsite, kind of hugging the edge of the cliff, just keeping watch out over the camp
Hmm.
is where I was.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. I guess yeah. So let me know where everybody's at the current moment. You say you were
Yeah, I
at the.
basically somewhere around this area here at the base, so that I don't have a shadow. The watchtower is completely keeping me in shadow, but I'm keeping a watch at the camp.
Okay. Oh, so you're at the base, like underneath
Yeah,
the actual
We all are.
tower. Oh,
yeah.
you're all are there?
We're all
Nobody's in the actual tower?
after the
Mhm.
guards were set up. Uh, we were all out of the tower, hovering around the bottom.
Okay. Um, anything that you guys wanted to do, or I guess is there something that you guys want to observe or do after? I guess from where we are right now, what was the next I guess course of action?
Wishing for a cloak of elvenkind to help hide me as I sneak around.
Yeah.
Good one, huh?
Yeah. But yeah.
Basically, we're going to try to decide our next move. I mean, it's either try to hit the big tent, but we're going to be trapped out in the open, or maybe go for the cave, in which case we could get trapped inside.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the possibility that maybe these other rock slide areas here might have openings that we haven't seen yet because we haven't
Hmm.
gotten close. So we may want to check that, see if there's a smaller
Right.
opening.
Well, yeah, there could be another way in or out, out of this place.
Yeah,
So maybe what we could do is maybe I could try to sneak around and check if you guys
sure,
want.
sure.
And I'll keep that mask for the dragon claw as kind of a backup. If I think I'm going to get spotted or caught somewhere where hiding won't work, I'll just throw that on real quick.
I'm
Okay,
fine with that
so
too. Yeah.
you're putting on the wait, you're putting on the what was it, the cult, the mask of the dragon cult?
I don't want to be running around with it on. I figured maybe if I just keep it handy, if I need to, I could just throw it on real quick.
Did any of you change your attire? Like, did any of you put on? I
No,
don't remember. I don't think so. Right. No,
I don't know
okay.
how
Okay.
much it would even matter for Kalash.
Um. Well, from what you remember during the raids on Greenest, you might have spotted like a handful of what you perceived to be dragonborn. Because I mean, the cult of the dragon is not just it's not. I mean, it's predominantly um humans and well humanoids, but well, that does fall into it too. So I mean, it's a mixture of different races, but predominantly it's probably mostly humans. But there's dwarves, elves, a few dragonborns, which kind of makes sense. There'll be a few dragonborns. Maybe not so many tieflings or anything like that.
Humans get messed up into everything.
Right. Um, but no, like it wouldn't seem out of the ordinary if you were also similarly dressed as the other cultists were there. And that's what I'm trying to say. You're not gonna stick out like a sore thumb. But as of right now, to see Vilithar, you're planning on trying to find another cave entrance?
Yeah, I mean that it did seem like a good idea that there would be such a thing. But there's another option to
Hmm.
try to get into the main cave and then explore from the inside, which is much more risky.
Well,
But
yeah.
it might be.
Remember,
I
the
don't know.
main cave has at least two, maybe more of the larger um, guard creatures.
Those half dragons or whatever.
They might be half dragons, yeah. We haven't
Yeah.
confirmed it yet, but
Hmm.
that's what we suspect, is they're half dragons. And we only saw two of them, didn't we? Or were there more?
From what Vilithar observed earlier that day before you guys
Hmm.
infiltrated the camp was that there was, well, yeah, like well, more than two, probably like at least four that was by the main
Okay.
entrance. Um, if you were gonna observe now, well, actually, go ahead and give
Oh,
me
yeah, we're
a,
just.
yeah, whoever's gonna, if you want to look over towards the cave, or just give me a perception check on what you're trying to look for.
Okay. Yeah, I guess looking at the cave entrance, to see what the current status is for that. What's guarding the cave entrance number 4?
Okay, so as you're carefully observing, you do spot a couple sentries. It seems like there are two at the moment. You do see another group of sentries that are patrolling
Mm-hmm.
around that vicinity. So, if anything, they're in between the cave and the large tent at the
Okay.
moment.
Um, is there any light coming from deeper in the tent in the cave?
From what you can see from your position, there doesn't seem to be a light source emanating from the cave itself.
Okay. Okay.
Anything you guys want to do? Oh, and that patrol that I mentioned, at the current moment, they're positioned right now between the big tent and the entrance of the cave. But I mean, as you're observing this, maybe a minute or two, they start heading north, towards closer to the watchtower.
Okay.
Maybe. Sorry, I was just making sure I wasn't muted.
Mhm.
Maybe we should wait to do anything to just make sure these ones are gonna pass before we go running off anywhere and split up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it'd be a good idea to watch their movement for a while, at least get a sense of
Well,
how
even
quickly
just
they move.
like if they're on a patrol, they very well could be coming here early. These people, we weren't here long enough to see when they do their guard change, how
Mm-hmm.
long their shifts are, or any of that. So,
Yeah.
and we probably should have.
Well, we did see. Well, who was it that saw the change? That was actually covered before guards changed.
Well, yeah, they were different guards than what were there when Rindathar originally scouted.
Hmm. Yeah, and there definitely was, I think, more than one roving patrol. So, Chris, I think
Um,
you said last time too. The further you get into the valley from the west entrance to the east, it seems like it gets more heavily guarded. Closer you get to the cave.
that's correct. Because if you remember, you were trying to observe if where the hoard, the treasure was being stored, and you
Right.
did notice a couple more carts heading were. It looked like they were storing it in the
Right.
cave. So yeah, like everything's progressively getting
Hmm.
more heavily guarded
My
towards the
God,
rear end.
that could almost be our way in if we could hide in one of those wagons and just have them take us right in. Here's another thing. I could go over and get above the cave itself and listen to see if there's any passwords or anything like that.
Yeah, sure, you can do that. You just
I
need to
mean,
get a little bit closer.
what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Don't make me punch anything.
Don't worry.
Well, hold the phone. But if something happens to go wrong, get over to me as quick as you can, because all hell might be breaking loose, my friends. And you know,
That's what I don't like, you being out there all by yourself.
well, it's not that far. It's only a couple 100 feet away over to that. If you guys are kind of maybe here, or there's a ladder that goes down. I mean,
Well, there's a walkway right there.
Yeah,
Plus-
there's a
Plus
walk.
some bushes right there.
that's the other thing too. We have a rope that was tied off.
I believe it was over here or something, or
Yeah,
was
it's
it?
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah. But that's to get you to level 3. There's a ramp walkway that brings you down to level 2, going north of the tower. There is
And
there's another ladder, like we'll say about right here, that brings
Okay.
you down to level 2.
hmm
And
Well,
then,
in any event, that's what you could use to get down if you needed to. A rope would be quicker, but
Well, yeah. What type of ladder is it? Because you know that maneuver in various things where you put
Star
your
Trek
feet on the
2?
outside
yeah.
of the ladder, slide
it's
down.
it's just a simple rope ladder.
It's a rope
So,
ladder. Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
a rope ladder. Yeah.
Oh, it's
So it's just like hemp rope attached with some boards of wood.
okay.
Yeah, you just wish you were awesome enough to jump straight down.
Well, how high is this area here? From
Um,
the tower down where that rope ladder is.
From what we estimated, it was from level 2 to level 3 is like 100 feet straight up. So I would say this is about 70 to 50 feet down from the base of the tower.
Okay. 70, 50. Okay.
hmm Um, Other thing that you might notice is, I mean, aside from the patrol that's about like right here, patrolling around this tent. I mean, you guys were able to observe that patrol goes around the tent, and I mean, there are a couple that will say, let me just get the proper. There's probably another group that like goes back and forth through here. There's another patrol through here. I mean, towards the main entrance, there's not really much. The security is a little more lax, but I mean more in the center here. But like towards the north where the watchtower is, it's a we'll say the security is more alert, or there's more sentries of course at the front entrance of the camp.
How many are in the patrol?
From what you can muster, the one that's closest to you is just about 5 to 6 persons in there.
Chris, did you say that there were some above the cave?
What do you mean here? No,
Yeah, over here.
no,
Okay.
no.
Because that's where I want to plan to go, just so
Okay.
I can maybe. You said it's like 80 feet down, but there's a chance that I could overhear people being challenged to present like the proper password, or do that like that dragon claw symbol where, they do the 3 fingers, the
Right,
claw,
right. Yeah.
what have you.
Yeah, you could definitely get there. I mean, if anything, when Endo was observing the cave entrance, there's probably like 4 to 5 sentries posted at the mouth of the cave.
hmm
They still
Including
look
those
like
2
the big
big
guys?
ones.
Hmm.
Do they
Do
still
they-
look like the big ones, or all of them? 4 to 5,
Um,
all of them?
Yeah, they look like an elite guard. It's
Okay.
not like compared to the patrol. The patrol just look like regular guardsmen, like the ones that you guys handled in the watchtower.
Okay. Okay. You see, I don't think, truthfully, that Rindlethar is going to learn too much by hanging out on top of there. I mean, you might hear them talking to each other, but I don't think any passwords or anything like that would pass between them. Because at night, I don't think there's going to be that much traffic into the cave. I mean, we're not seeing anything approach the cave, are we? I mean, like,
Okay, you're right. Maybe we should wait to see if um like another wagon does approach, and then maybe I could do that.
yeah,
You guys can give me another perception check. We'll do this as a group check, so and then I'll tell you based on how you guys do, what you guys observe. We'll say like you guys probably spend like another half hour. So, everybody just give me a perception. Let's see what you guys got. Oh, not bad, not bad. So, oh, wow. I mean,
yeah, there you go.
Oh,
We're good.
Our low is
Yeah, we should
16.
be alright.
25 is about as good as I could do. That's a 19
Yeah.
plus my 6.
excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So, if a few things that you guys do notice. From the different people that are amongst the camp, because I mean you do see some stragglers here and there. I mean right now, I don't remember the exact time, but I'm gonna say it's probably like drawing on late evening, probably like 9 or 10. So like like half of the camp is probably turning in, the other half is just settling down for the evening before they turn in. But what you do notice is that not everyone there seems seems to look, I mean, attire-wise, like a full-fledged member of the cult. Um, Many of them look like what you discern to be as new initiates that are working, like new recruits that are working in this camp.
Okay.
Um, I mean, aside from what you perceive to be like mercenaries or like hired people to strengthen this camp. Um, Other thing that you do notice too is that hunting party that you guys were following for a minute. I mean, by now they settled actually like over here. So this is probably where, for lack of better description, their food court or where their mess hall would be, or in this camp. So a lot of the meat or a lot of the food that these hunters forage, this seems to be the vicinity where they would stock their supplies or whatnot, or this is where the cooking happens, and generally in this area is where it seems to be where the majority of the camp eats and dines. From what you can see, if anything, like most of the smoke that you guys seen at a distance seems to be coming from that general area, aside from the other various campsites within this camp, or fire sites within this camp. Let's see. What you do also notice is that when you were probably looking at direction with the meat, I mean, probably it's smelling so good, and given that you guys only been eating on rations lately, you do also notice that there are some what you assume to be prisoners working that area, because you see a few persons that they're manacled,
Okay.
and you do see um like dotted around this area, around where the number one is, around this area there's a couple of um what do we call it, X constructed logs of timber where prisoners are held at. There's
Hmm.
some that are there, and then there are some that they're still chained and manacled by like the place where the cooking is happening. They're basically the menial servants of this camp. Like basically they're doing all the grunt work for the menial duties. Um, Let me see what else do you guys notice. 'Cause you guys did pretty well. Um, I mean, and you do see a few carts actually probably set aside right over here. They they do seem to have still some contents in them, as if that this is like the staging area before they probably go through it, and then you don't see right at the current moment anybody going back and forth from the carts, from the area where the carts are into the cave, but it's safe to assume that this is probably the staging area where they probably go through the stuff and then bring it into the cave. So if anything, that work's probably done during the day, where of course it's more more well it yeah well it um, but yeah, that's what you guys are able to discern so far. And of course, every once in a while, I mean, you guys are keen on picking it up. When you do see the people in this camp interact with each other, you do hear on occasion, muffled from your position, but you do hear like praise Tiamat's glory, and you do see a few people like do some hand gestures or some type of signage. So ever so often you see like maybe a group of people meet each other and they'll greet each other in some type of similar manner or fashion.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. Work crap. I'm back.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
We need a distraction.
Right.
True, but that also makes it obvious that something might be up.
Other thing I could let you guys know. I mean, aside from the sentries here, you have one group of like 5 to 6 people patrolling around the large tent. You have another one that's patrolling um, between here to here,
Mhm.
right? You do also see a couple sentries set up in the area where you observe the prisoners to be at. Um, give or take, it's about 4 to 6 people there that you can see. Um, and then of course you have the sentries at the watchtower in the north. Um, there is two other patrols coming from the main entrance, maybe one going down here and another one going up. Basically, just going back and forth, meeting like in the center and then going back and forth.
Okay.
So,
You know,
and
fellas.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, other thing I was going to mention is that for Renothar, since you scouted this place out earlier during the day,
Mm-hmm.
it did seem that the security was more lax during the day than it is, of course, at night. Also, you you probably assume that the reason for the lax is because they might have just came back from a raid, so everybody's still out of order, so to speak. But as the time seems to progress, they seem to come into an order.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Are they settling down as more and more come back to the camp? Like, oh yeah, their safety numbers. Who would dare to attack this large of a camp?
It's kind of like what you're starting to infer as you observe them from how they were during the day and then now at
Mhm.
night, and then probably if you're still going to observe in the later.
Well, yeah, but here's something else I was just thinking.
Mhm.
I'll run this by the brothers of the Iron Fist. We might be overthinking this, my friends. What if we were to? I don't know if we have access to silence again, but what if we had multiple ropes and all four of us together roped down real quick to the cave and just ducked inside? Once we're in a narrow corridor, their numbers count for very little to nothing. Granted, we could possibly be trapped, but I don't know. I like our odds. I mean, there is even if there's some sort of distraction, there is even a chance I could get in there, you know, unawares to people that are looking because they're by the cave, but they're facing out away. And if I'm quiet enough,
I can do silence again.
well, that might be a way for all of us to get down there within the silence. If we do
Yeah.
it together as one kind of unit.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, we still have the various patrols.
Mhm.
I'm gonna.
We could pick a moment where they're kind of away. It might take them at least a few rounds to get where we are.
Yeah. Do I have this right? There's a patrol basically doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Patrol doing this. And here.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And here.
There's
And
got to be a moment though when the one circling the large tent
hmm
and then the other two that are closest going back and forth are at least at a nominal distance to the west,
yeah.
where we could seize the opportunity to all rope down.
Yeah. How long is the intervals between the endpoints of their patrols?
I mean,
Like,
it varies. It's not something that you can actually like time down. But I mean, the closest that you can get to is that from where you started, the I guess where they started the patrol to where they end at the other end, from point A to point B. It seems to take them at least um, 2 to 3 minutes.
okay.
It's not like they're doing it
So.
at a slow pace. They're just like
Mhm.
nonchalantly just
Yeah.
doing their patrol.
Okay. Okay. Then yeah, there's a possibility that that could work then. But yeah, the guards though are not going to be a quick.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well,
uh,
here's another thing. I could loop around. Um, hmm.
So there are a couple sentries posted right here.
oh yeah, there's four
Yeah,
or five,
yeah,
five of
about
them,
4 or 5. Here, I'll
and they
draw.
are the large elite,
Yeah,
possibly half
two of
dragons.
them.
All of them.
Two of them.
No, I think all of them are.
All?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and then you also see some posted here, but these are not the. Well, actually, not. I should use a different color, but these are not the half dragons that you see by the cave engines. These just seems to be the sentries that are posted by the where the prisoners are at.
mhm.
Yeah. How many
Um,
prisoners do we see out in the open? And are there any attached to those cross
you
things?
from where you at, you can go ahead and give me another perception check to see if you can actually see. But I mean, you do see some of them, but I mean, there's nobody that you recognize at the moment. You do see them, but they seem the stakes seem to be lined up back here.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
anything, that's probably where they get, I guess, put to when they're done doing their jobs for the day.
hmm
Are they being watched? The
Yeah.
people that are like staked up?
Yeah, that's what these sentries are.
Yeah, I mean, those are sentries, but there's also guys milling about. I mean, just non-sentry people.
Hmm.
Yeah, there are,
Mm.
but but these X's are the ones that that are definitely they have not moved from their position and they're keeping an alert eye out kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and give you more information with a couple more sentries where they would be at.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um, I
Would
mean,
you guys be up for a potential bluff as a backup plan? Like mask up in these Dragon Claw outfits, rope down. If we happen to get spotted, we were just testing to see how alert you were. You passed the test, type of thing. Or if we're successful, then duck into the cave. Eventually they'll see the ropes, but you know,
Yeah.
going in with the silence spell would cover the sound at least. As long as we all remain within the 20-foot radius circle, I think we'd be good.
now
I don't
these
know.
X's are not these. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything real important. Go ahead.
I was gonna say these X's are not definite numbers. They're just probably positions that you guys observed over the course of this time that you guys are looking.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, the only thing that's definite that does not change are the sentries in front of the cave. Everything else, where all the other X's are, I mean, ever so often, like a guard would walk away and then another would come back, kind of thing. It's not those are positions are not, I guess, definite, except for the one at the front of the cave.
Okay. I still think Rindlethar, you could probably get down the ladder. You don't have to put any ropes or anything. There's a ladder right in front of us.
Yeah.
If you could get to the base, there's a little bit of bushes down here, and just see if there is a cave entrance anywhere along here. And if there isn't, come back. We'll figure something else out. If there is, check it out. You know, just real quick. Just you know, we might be able to avoid a lot if there is something right there.
All right, you're right. Well, here's the other thing, Chris. I'm gonna go in, throw on that mask and the outfit for the dragon claw. So I'll just, walk around out in the open.
Where are you going to be walking out in the open?
Once I get down the ladder.
So let's just use you here. Oops.
And I'm just going to take this opportunity to just behave like any of the other ones. I mean, I do have a proficiency in disguise kit, but not just the kit, the mannerisms and, I've got a pretty high bullshit ability factor with my charisma. I have real high persuasion and everything, if you recall. So I might have better odds doing that. I might be able to see more if I'm out in the open, just kind of milling about with the general soldiery here. Granted, I might rank above some of them, but maybe below others. You said the ones in the purple rank above the dragon claws, right?
Right. Let me see. So
what were they called? Talons or something?
the ones the wearers of purple.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I actually gave that information. I know they're called dragon claws. Dragon claws are the ones that you guys have met. Those are the ones that dressed in, and fought. The wearers of purple. I think I did mention something about a worm speaker. Yeah, but right now you don't actually see any of that. I mean, that's another thing that you probably will keep an eye for if you see any of the officers or anything like that. You don't see anybody around dressed in any purple attire that fits the description of what was given to you before.
Well, what about like the one I'm planning on putting on the dragon claws? Any of them here?
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
Okay.
I mean, if anything, most of the people that are on sentry or guard duty are the ones that are the dragon claws. Everybody else is in here. They're the mixed bunch that look like recruits or mercenaries and stuff.
All right. Well, that's what I'm going to plan to do is just go down there and mill about and do kind of what they're doing. But I'm just getting strength in numbers, specifically looking for other caves, which I don't know. If nobody's really kind of paying attention, I'll surreptitiously kind of glance around. If nobody's paying attention, I'll head in and see what's what.
Okay, so just go ahead, take your token, and put it in the general area where you're planning on, I guess, interacting with the camp. And then while you do that, what are the rest of you doing? I mean, as Rindlethar's going off.
Here's the route I plan to take.
Okay, so you're gonna take
that for now.
Okay. All right. So as you make
sense.
Right. So as you make your way down, what's the rest of the party doing? I mean, as you guys are in the watchtower, is any you guys doing anything, preparing anything?
You know we had tokens on the bottom, right?
Did you? Oh, okay. Yeah, you did. Okay. Oh well. But yeah.
I'm just keeping a watch out.
Yeah, same here. Trying to watch Rindlethar's movements.
Right.
Ditto.
Okay. So all three of you are just going to be, and you guys are at the base of the watchtower, right? That's correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to. Okay, there you go. That's close to where I am.
Okay. Well, Rindlethar, as you're making your way down the ramp towards the camp, as you pass through that area, when you pass those two X's right there, you encounter two two dragon cultists. Um, and the first thing they do is when they see you, is one of them extends their right hand with their fingers outstretched and says, "Praise Tiamat's glory."
Oh boy, it's been like literally a month since that all came up. So, um,
Remember, it's
the the
the claws.
five-pointed
Yeah.
fly with the claw hand symbol.
Right.
Um, like for my character, it's been like a day. For me, it's been a month or more. So I honestly don't remember.
The two fingers back. With
Right.
the middle finger, the pinky, and the thumb
Are
extended,
extended. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
uh, and I don't quite remember what the
I put it in the what do you call it, in the chat window or whatever, But
yeah.
again,
Is it in history?
I don't know.
Well,
It would have been something that we probably would put in there, but
yeah, it's somewhere in our chart archives, and actually, I might have actually jumped the gun a little bit. Let's see. Hold on a second. Well, anyway, so he does this signage, and he actually says no, he does say praise to Tiamat's glory. Um, Obviously waiting for some type of response, and I mean we'll say in the character you do remember, but then go ahead and give me a deception check. Because at first you probably fumble a little bit. You're like,
all right. Hmm.
right.
For
I
fifth
mean,
edition, that ain't terrible.
no, that's definitely not terrible at all. I mean, for a second there, you paused, maybe it's slightly longer than you're supposed to before you gave a response back, but you remember the proper way to what do you call it, to reply to this I guess password sort of saying, and after you guys said whatever you guys said, the praise team mad, and you did the signage, they went on. They just went back to their conversation, and you just realized, oh, okay, this is gonna work, and then you kept on going. So now that you passed these two guys, now you're free to roam about the camp. You're free to roam a little bit and observe a little bit more. Go ahead and tell me what you are trying to, I guess, look for or observe for, and then just give me a perception roll for that. Or actually, not perception roll. We'll do an investigation roll.
Whichever one it is, though, basically, I'm taking that route that I had showed you before, and
Mhm.
I'm going to be keeping a pretty sharp eye out for other caves, but also as to what activity they're doing, the patrols themselves, if there's any talk about, oh, I got to go on duty at a certain time.
Mhm.
We did realize that there were different guards in the tower than there were when I checked the first time, so um,
Right.
we can hope that they're gonna not discover that for a little bit, but try to get a lay of the land. I do plan to, and I'm not moving there yet, but I do plan to make a loop kind of like here, not getting too close to the cave, but eventually just making my way over to like the mess tent
Okay, I
area.
see. I
Like
see.
this place where it says 25 foot, I don't
Uh-huh.
go that close to those guys. I stick probably closer to this tent, like the patrol nodding to the fellas as I pass. All praise to the Dragon Queen.
Right, yeah, that's why I was saying what Andal typed up, that I might have jumped the gun a little bit. You were supposed to reply back, praise TMS glory, and they're supposed to
Okay.
say, this is the cult of the dragon. Um,
Okay.
um, so yeah, as you're about to make your second, I guess, route, go ahead and give me it'll be a perception check as you're keeping an eye out for caves and what you
Mhm.
said of the change of guards, if you might overhear something.
Would you want a
Perception.
investigation?
No, no, a
Oh,
perception. Perception.
gotcha. Nice.
Okay. That was persuasion.
Yeah, it was persuasion. Yes,
That's
it is.
persuasion.
Oh, damn it. Well, this won't be probably quite as good, but yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
I have them right next to each other on the bottom bar. I gotta fix that.
So
Do you have them both written in short form PER?
No.
um, so um, as you were making your way, feeling a little more confident after that first encounter with some of the dragon cultists, as you were coming around the backside of that large tent, you met up with the patrol that's coming around that side. Um, some of them were a little more observant of you, and then same thing again. They look at you. They don't ask you any questions or anything like that, but they are looking at you. So the other thing too that you perceive from your role is that um, you as you pass the backside of the tent, um, you were looking for some caves. At the moment, you don't see any caves around this area except for the very very large one.
Right.
Um, you you do see how am I going to say this? A light that's emanating from this tent,
Mm-hmm.
but you're unsure if there's anybody in there. Like, I mean, of course, you're probably looking like, is there any shadow movement or anything like that? You don't see
Yeah.
anything, but you do see that there's some light, or that the inside of this
Mm-hmm.
tent is lit. But as you were observing the tent, the patrol that was patrolling around that, I mean, they saw you, and then at first they're like, "Why is this guy looking?" But oh, okay, he's just one of us. So
Mm-hmm.
then they continued on their way. But as they were observing you, I need you to go ahead and give me another deception check, and I'm going to go ahead and roll against yours.
All right. Every time I roll, there's a chance of a 1, guys, so be ready.
Not happening this time.
Wow, roll 20 didn't screw me. I can't believe it. It's a miracle.
Right. That's pretty good. It's pretty good because I actually rolled a 16. Well, so one of the
That just
patrolmen.
means roll 20 is planning for later.
Mhm.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right. So one of the patrolmen, they might have stopped in their tracks and just to observe you observing the tent, just
Mhm.
slightly. And then when you guys locked eyes with each other, you probably just gave some type of, like, hi, how you doing, that kind of gesture,
Mhm.
and then you quickly just went along your way, and he didn't pay it no mind, just like, oh, it's nothing.
Just another one of us.
Just another one of us, yeah.
Good.
As you make your way past the large cave entrance, I mean, even though that the sentries are pretty far away from you, you're not getting close at all. You do have a sense that their eyes are locked on whoever is coming close to the cave.
Mhm.
I mean, and you're trying not to make any eye contact, so they're not suspicious as they already pretty much are on alert. But you do have a sense that they are very, very, I guess, yeah, they are very, very
Vigilant?
aware, yeah, very vigilant. Yes.
Attentive.
Um, and as you swing back around here, you probably hear another group of guards down here, and from what your elven ears can hear, you hear one of the cultists say, "Oh, that repast was good, but I want another one." Yeah, you better not. Then you hear another guy say, "Yeah, you better not be too greedy. You gotta leave it for the rest." I mean, the guys in the watchtower, they still gotta eat their dinner. Yeah, is it about time for a change? I don't know, but I'm gonna go get mine before they get theirs. And then you see that guy. He goes off towards where the mess hall of this camp is, followed by the other dude.
Mhm. All right. I'm gonna probably just wander through here, looking like I'm kind of interested in some food, but I want to get a look at the prisoners, and also I think that area of the, um, like the cliff. I'm just hoping maybe there's a possibility of caves over here too. I don't know. I'm seeing something right here on the map, but it might just be a dark spot.
It's a
Right.
1.
That's a one. Yeah.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't.
Um,
I was too zoomed back, I guess.
So, as you're making your way down that way, back over here, where the rest of the party's at, Ando, Talash, and Kyrin, you do see a group of guards.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably about three of them. They are making their way up towards the ramp towards you.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so
Oh shit.
probably in the next minute or so, they'll be close enough to where they will be able to spot you. But at the current position, we'll say they're about right here, so they can actually. I mean, they're not aware of your presence, so they're not actually looking for anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, Chris, do I see this? Because I am checking back like frequently.
From where your position is, it's very very hard for you to see. But you can probably. I mean, you say you're checking back. Go ahead and give me a perception check with a disadvantage.
All right.
Because there's probably a bunch of tents and
Shit.
other people around. Holy crap. Okay. So, I mean,
Sadly, don't promise the shit.
right, no. You look back and you know that at this distance, it's fairly hard for you to see any traffic going up that ramp. I mean, there's tents and there's probably people and there's, lights, not lights, but there's campfires that are blocking your view.
Lots of obstruction.
Yeah, there's a lot of obstruction. So, like, in other words, that view is obscured by from where your position is at right now.
Hmm. From the conversation that those fellows were saying about the watchtower, did it seem like the guys in the watchtower came down to get their food, or was it brought to them?
No, he said that the other guy said don't be greedy because the guys in the watchtower haven't eaten yet.
Hmm.
So it's more likely that they're gonna get their own food. They're not being served or anything like that.
All right.
No. I mean, when you reach this area, you do see like tables and benches and like various spots around this place where people are basically sitting down and eating, probably having their late dinner.
Hmm. So no other signs of caves, huh?
From what you've seen, no. It's too dark in this area. If anything, you probably would have to get into the foliage to actually see. But from your position, you can't see any other caves at the moment.
Well, that's the other thing too. With all the foliage that's here, I haven't seen too many non-humans. I can see pretty good in the dark with dark vision. So, if an opportunity presents itself, I might duck into that in order to get maybe a closer look at the prisoners. But only if I'm not being observed directly.
Okay, so we'll come back to that as what I guess your next action will be. Probably you trying to observe more of the prison and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I
going
don't want
back,
to metagame. I don't know that these guys potentially got trouble. So,
right. So, so going back to you guys back in the tower. By now, the set of guardsmen, which you now see, is not three men. It's actually a group of like six people. They're rounding about the ramp here. So I'm gonna need you three to give me a stealth check as you're probably still trying to hide from them, and I'll go ahead and roll to see if they spot you.
Well,
with disadvantage hopefully down below.
yeah.
Well, it will be a stealth check, and then you can tell me what are you doing, trying to, I guess, hide, or if you're trying to get away, that kind of thing. Because if anything, you'd probably be trying to do it stealthily. And Telesh.
Is there anything in the base of the tower that
That you can hide in?
yeah, or hide around? Yeah,
That would provide cover.
Is it just some fairly thin?
Yeah, it's not like a structure that was that was built like a. I mean, is anything? It's just a crudely built watchtower. It's nothing that's like sophisticated. Like it has a set of stairs going up to top now. It's just probably just one what do you call that? The center beam, and then the other timber that's laid up about it to support that center beam to actually support the weight of the watchtower. But it's nothing like what you would think that could hide you. In other words, there's not enough cover to obscure you once they get close enough.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I was wondering is, because did we see them as they were coming up
Mm-hmm.
backside?
Yeah,
So
from that
we
area.
definitely had
Yeah.
like motion to try to react to that before they got too close, right?
Yeah, that would be invoking the stealth check as you try to reposition yourself or try to get away.
Okay.
Or like move like further along around a bend.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, I figured that Watchtower would have four corners with some pretty stout posts to hold it up if it's supporting four people or whatever, plus all their gear and, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least they could stand behind and in the shadow of maybe.
I mean, if anything, you would be obscured in a sense. It'd probably give you some 3/4 cover, so they'll have a disadvantage if they're gonna try to. If you guys were, if there was an encounter to happen there. But I mean, it's not enough to actually hide all three of you well.
Hmm.
Hmm. Somebody like me, yes. Them, probably not, huh?
No, especially because yeah, I mean, like the Dragonborn will probably have a hard time hiding.
Yeah. Well, plus those guys have some heavy armor
And you
too.
guys have some heavy armor, yeah.
Well, I'm the only one that really has the problem with heavy armor.
Right.
Kyren's breastplate thing doesn't have disadvantage anymore.
Oh,
Right.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
The loss is just wide as a redwood, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
In the chest, anyway.
Right, so I mean, I got Talesh's roll, so just give me your rolls, and I mean, you guys can describe to me how you're trying to, I guess,
Oh, jeez.
right.
Telos is just casually leaning against a post. Like,
Oh,
why bother?
Okay.
Nice.
Kyra's still. Oh, you're probably. I was gonna say Kyra's probably like, ooh, more souls.
That rope to rappel down doesn't sound like such a bad idea now, does it?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's going to be some interesting things happening. I kind of think we need to take them out. So,
It's like, okay, cleric, get ready for silence.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, okay. And my silly stealth check. My 12 doesn't look so bad now, does it?
No. You don't. You have disadvantage. That's a disadvantage. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, right.
and as they were approaching, I was thinking that I was actually gonna go because my thoughts are we need to get rid of these guys. So there's going to be a confrontation, and so I'm like climbing up into the tower again because I think it's kind of easier to hide where they expect to see people than hide on the ground somewhere.
Okay, so you're climbing up into the tower. Talash and Kyrin, I guess you weren't as successful in your stealth roll. So how, I guess, describe to me like how where you guys are at. I mean, Talash, you say you're just leaning against the watchtower, right?
Leaning against one of the legs.
Right. And then I guess
Pretending not to see them coming, and just looking completely relaxed and casual.
right.
Yeah, keep cool. Keep cool.
Hide it. No, and then I guess Carmen, what is your I guess your disposition at this point?
Well, I guess I fell up the stairs.
You fell up the stairs.
Yeah. Or something.
Okay.
I mean, I was gonna try and stay out of sight, but obviously not.
Okay. Well, okay. It we'll say that this watchtower has a ladder. If anything, you probably were trying to follow Andor as he's scampering up the watchtower to get out of sight, and being him in armor, he wasn't able to get out
Hey.
fast enough. So
I'm a fast climber. My
Okay.
gloves make me fast.
oh, that's true. Your guns make you fast.
Telos is watching stumbling Kyrin and is looking annoyed or something like that. Well, at least as expressive as a Dragonborn gets.
Well, but what I see is like Kyriz slightly got nervous as he was like waiting for Andal to get up the ladder. He's like, come on, go, go, go!" And then he started climbing without looking up, and then probably like misstepped or misgrabbed the side of the ladder or something, and
Yeah, yeah, puts his foot through instead
through.
of on the
Yeah,
ladder.
he was like, "Oh shit! Oh damn! Oh, okay, all right." So so as this was happening, the guards they show up around the bend, and of course first reaction is that they they seem to be reaching for their weapon, or I'm about to say the sidearm, for the
But
weapon as
it's
they're coming
dark.
up.
How
Right.
can they see?
They are looking at you, and one of them calls out, "Hey, Brett, is that you? Is everything fine?" And
Everything's great over here. How are you?
right, and this guy's he's actually looking. Yeah, he's actually looking at you after you stumbled down. Um, the
When in
the
doubt, blame the drunkard.
right. The other two are actually observing. They're observing Telesh because they're like, "Why is this Dragonborn here? He shouldn't be here." But go ahead and give me a deception check.
Who?
You, since you're the one answering
Oh,
out.
shit.
Oh,
Of course.
jeez.
Right.
Course.
So as you called out and said that you were all right, the guard that called out to you is actually stepping a bit closer, and he soon realizes that, wait a minute, you're not Brett. Hold on, who are you guys? And he starts for his sword, and the others follow suit. And I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys roll for initiative.
And there's 6 of them, and how far away are they?
If anything, they're within. Well, you're up in a tower, right? So the
Yep.
tower is about 25 feet. So it'll take them at least a movement to get up to you. But for the guys down below, they're about, give or take, 5 to 10 feet away. I mean, they're relatively there.
Well, Kalash is really relaxed.
Oh, come on.
All right.
There you go. Oh. Well,
Well, silence away.
All right. Let's see. So I'm actually just going to do one initiative roll for these guards, so it doesn't complicate things. But let's see. We need someone there. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So but yeah, okay. So I have the guys sit down at the bottom. Let's see, for their initiative. Let's just go ahead and do. Oh, hello. Okay. And let me see. Rinalthar, go ahead and give me an initiative roll too. This is just so that we'll keep you in the order.
Got it. Give me 1 sec.
Uh-huh. Oh, there you go. All right.
I'm usually pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
18 decks.
All right. So what we'll do, depending on what I mean, because as of right now you don't know what's going on at the watchtower. At the moment, but we'll say at the beginning of your turn, as a free action, we'll go ahead and have you roll a perception check with disadvantage.
All
This
right.
is because just to show that you're looking back ever so often.
Right. 14 isn't terrible.
14
Sure, cool,
isn't 14 isn't terrible, but it is not enough
All right.
You do see if you're looking back, I mean, you do see some movement, but you're not seeing movement of like a fight or anything happening because it
Okay.
hasn't started. It's just
And
barely.
nobody's raising an alarm, so I'm just going to continue into the brush.
Hmm.
Here, I'll do my stealth.
Okay.
21.
Right. Nobody's noticing you, and the ones that do just think that you're just part of the people here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we'll say that at the current moment, you do not spot any cave entrances from
Okay.
where you are. Um, with that, we'll go ahead and move on to Kyrin. So, Kyrin, you have um, within melee range of you one of the guards, the one that was calling out to you that discovered that you're not Brett.
Okay, so where are they?
Let's see,
One's
so
within melee range. Where's the other guy at?
the other five, if anything, they're within. Oh wait, wrong color. They're within 5 to 10 feet of him. Because I mean, when he called out, he stepped up
Okay.
front, and then while the others stayed back, and probably were conversating amongst themselves, and then when he realized that you weren't, that's when they reacted. So we'll just call it out here. But if anything, they're all within melee range of you guys that are below the tower, um, and then like I did say, it was like 25 feet up. So just call out so the one that's closer. Well, like I said, yeah, they'll be all within melee range of you guys down below. So Carmen, what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna get to the side of the ladder, to where the
Okay.
ladder is,
Uh huh.
and Karin's gonna keep his head turned away from him,
Okay.
and tell him, come closer, I've got something to show you, and then wait for a movement, and then cast silence. So
First
that
answer.
within the area. Then for my movement, I'm gonna go up the ladder.
And if we're moving, you're going to go up the ladder.
Yep.
Knowing that if you go up the ladder, you will provoke attack of opportunity from him.
Okay. It's fine by me.
This one be okay.
Except he hasn't acted yet. Normally he wouldn't get that. The bad guy? That hasn't passed his turn yet, has it?
That is true. No, he has not.
Well, I don't think that is that. Um, I wouldn't think that would actually. I don't think he actually has to act in order to get a reaction from him leaving his, I guess, his melee range. I don't think he has to act first to actually get that.
I thought you did. Just according, if you haven't acted yet, then you're still, like in the older editions they would have called it
Yeah.
flat-footed, but
Yeah, but that
Okay.
was gotten rid of in 5th edition.
In 5th edition, yeah, there's nothing about flat-footed 5th edition.
Yeah. I mean, there's only one thing that gets you an attack of opportunity, and that's moving away from
Moving away,
somebody's
yeah.
threatened space.
yeah.
So it's
But yeah, so if he is gonna go up the ladder, he would get an attack of opportunity, and then you said it's all right anyway. So we go ahead into his attack.
what we can say it's not okay for them to attack us. Does it work that way?
Yep, I call that from now on.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has these guys have spears. I mean, spears is short swords, but currently they all have their spears out at the moment. So he's gonna go ahead and do his attack and see if this works. I think it does work. Okay, so that is an 18 versus your armor class.
That is a miss. My armor class is 19.
Right. So he strikes out at you as right after. I mean, you just cast silence, and I mean, and his reaction is probably hesitant at best. And when he realizes that he's actually trying to talk to you after you said that, and he's realizing that nothing's coming out, and then all the other guards are realizing too, like, wait, how come they were just conversating with each other, and like, hey, how come there's no audible sound coming out? And then you started up the ladder, and as a delayed reaction, he shoots his spear out, but totally misses. You probably hit the ladder, which would make a sound, but there's no sound. And then with that, we'll move on to the guards. So he's going to give chase to you, Karen. The guy with the we'll say the red guard is going to give chase to you, Karen. The other
Either
guards,
that or it's going to be whack-a-mole by Andal.
right? So the red guard and the blue guard, respectively, are going to follow Karen up to the top. It's going to take them their movement, and I'm going to say they're probably going to use a dash movement to get up there in time. So that'll be their turn. And then the other four guards, I mean, Salash, you being the closest, they now set their sights on you, each of them banishing a spear. And from what I know about the mob rule is, well, I'll have to look it up, but we'll just call it like this: that for every so out of these four guards that attack you, Talesh, one of them actually gets past your armor for. Let me see. What is the? It's a D6. So one for 4 points of piercing damage. So as I mean, you probably just reluctantly sidestepping and dodging, and then I mean, might have been a little overconfident, but one of the guards were able to nick your thigh. Okay, and then with that, we'll move on to Andal.
Okay. Um,
We'll
oh
say
yeah.
that Kyrin was able to clear the
Mhm.
area, so he's up there with you, and right behind him would be the red guard, and he's popping his head out of the hatch, followed by the blue guard below.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, like Talash said, whack-a-mole.
Whack 'em all the way.
18 hit
18 does hit
for 14 points of damage.
for 14 points of damage. All right.
Now, what does that do since he's
Right. So I mean, if anything, you smack him dead on his head,
Mhm.
and then if there was audible sound, you would have heard a ka-chunk, and then maybe his actual helmet probably got pressed down into his head, and I would say because of that, I'm giving the position it is. I mean, it kind of added an advantage because you're at a higher point. But then we'll just say that because his helmet got squished down into his head, it's causing blindness. It'll take him an action to take his helmet up so he can actually see.
Okay. Um, then I'm actually going to
Uh,
shove him. I'm going to try to shove him off the ladder.
should I shove him off the ladder? Okay.
22
All right.
strength
So let me give you
versus.
the opposing roll. What's this guy's strength? I don't think he has a modifier. It's just a guard. No. So after you hit him over the head, and he's probably trying to readjust his helmet, and you shove him with his shield, he takes an additional 6 piercing damage.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So when you shove him with his shield, I mean, he took the. If anything, I'm not gonna say that you actually pierced him in the face or anything like that, but you knocked him off balance. Now he's falling, and he falls on top of his friend. Let me give an athletics roll for this guy to see if he's gonna stay on. Nope. So they both come crashing down.
Okay.
Um,
They take falling damage.
let's see. The red guard, he took enough damage that actually takes him out
Okay.
just from your shield shove. The blue guard, he's gonna take. Let's see, 25 feet. Was it? It's D6 for every 10 feet, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch a carcass.
So it should be 2d6. Should be we'll say 2d6 plus one more. So okay, so he's gonna take. Wow. Okay, good. He's gonna take 10 points of bludgeoning damage, and
Okay.
he's pretty hurt. I mean,
Okay.
it's taking him a little bit to get back up, and the other guard, he might have fell on top of his spear. We'll just say that for dramatic effect, and that's the reason why he's out of the picture.
Okay. Um,
So I'll take him out.
I'm going to use my movement to actually climb down then.
You gonna use your move to climb down?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's Blue Dot is still at the base of the ladder, right?
Right.
Yeah. Then I'm going to try 13 points.
2 points. Right. So as you climb down, are you? Let's see. Hold on a second. I'm gonna say that you actually climb. Well, after you see him on the floor, I'm not gonna say that you actually climb all the way down. You probably
Yeah.
climb a couple steps down and just launch off the ladder and land on him.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking. I kind of wanted to yeah, land on him with my shield, but I decided that.
Oh, you can
Dance
land on
a
his shield.
armored, dance a heavily armored jig on his testicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So he's. Yeah. So I'm basically now at the base of the ladder, and that's about it. And these two guys are gone.
Right. Yep. So yeah. That's yep. So the other guard is
And
gone,
the
and
other
then
guys have not heard a thing, so they have no idea.
oh, they see this all happening though. I mean, at the
Well, I thought,
moment they're
They're right
they're
there.
yeah, they're right there. They're right next to Telesh. I mean, if anything, the ladder is probably 2, 3 feet away from Telesh, and Telesh is currently occupied with these 4 guards. And I mean, while they're fighting, they see they see the blue guard fall because the red guard fell on top of him. So they see all this crashing down, and at the same moment, they probably see you crashing down on the other guy too. So they they
do I get an intimidation check?
I mean, are you trying to do something to intimidate them? I mean, aside from you
Well,
just falling?
they just saw two. Well, they see two of their members go up. Basically, two of their members fall down dead, and a large armored man just landed right next to them. So, are they
Well,
intimidated?
we'll see if their morale breaks when their turn comes back around.
Okay.
As I don't know if you have any more movement or anything like that.
Um, if I need to actually approach to get within melee range, then yeah, I think the ladder's 25 feet. You said
Yes.
I have 5 feet left to do something.
Yeah, 5 feet left to do something.
Yeah.
Is there something that you want to do with that 5
No,
feet?
just engage if at all
Okay.
possible. Get within melee range.
All right. So
Nothing
at
too
this moment,
heavy.
right at this moment, you're just holding your ground at the base of this at the
Okay.
base of the ladder, and then we'll move to Talash. So you got these 4 guards on you. One of them just nicked your right thigh, we'll say.
Talash will smosh.
Hmm.
Little smash. Before you do rolls, if you're trying to attack multiple targets, just go ahead and declare which ones you're gonna attack, so we know which guard you're hitting, because you do have multiple attacks.
Just focusing on whichever nearest one, and then going from there. Since I can't really do any brawl specific type moves or anything.
Well, let's see. We'll say the closest one is the next guy in line, which would be the green guard. He's the next one in line.
Okay.
So you're gonna focus all your attacks on him. All right. So let me see. What's his? Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, they all hit, and that's 7. Wow, a lot of damage. 19. Yeah. So as they're all simultaneously like striking at you. I mean, Andal, if you're seeing this feat, you're seeing Telesh just with all his flourishes and his martial designs with his bow staff and his hits. I mean, he's parrying and dodging away from all these spear attacks at him. I mean, it's like watching a kung fu movie, basically, is what you're seeing. And when there was an opening, he strikes at this one guard, the green guard, with 2 staff hits at either side of his temple, and then as he goes through the stroke with his staff, he backhand him, and you just see this guard like as if it looks like his head got taken off, but you probably would have heard a crunch if anything, because if you saw his neck kind of dislodge from his body in an awkward position, and then he just falls slumped to the floor. But there's of course it's an audible sound. But then if anything, you see the shock in this guard's face as Talash puts him out. So that guard is down. Anything else you want to do, Talash?
No, melee fighter and right in the melee.
All right, cool. We'll go on to Rinothar. Rinothar, go ahead. Give me another perception check as you're trying to look around and you glance back occasionally to the watchtower.
Oh,
Ooh.
you're kidding me.
Nothing.
I'm still looking at the prisoners.
You were looking at the prisoners. If anything, you thought you might have seen something familiar, so you got a little closer to it, and at the same time, you probably a little hungry. So I mean, the barbecuing that's happening, it's starting to waft in your direction, and it's taking your attention at the moment. Just at the moment.
It's funny because I'm actually eating my lunch right now.
Well, there you go. Well, actually, you might have came by and be like, you know what, I might as well get myself a plate, and you're eating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know any difference, so hey, might as well
Right.
get something. As long as it's not human flesh, I'm going to be consuming.
Yeah,
That's
no,
you know.
in fact, it's the antelope that the hunters that you saw the
yeah.
hunters.
I'm having some of that.
Yeah. So that's what happened. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's it for me, though.
Right. You probably give a thought out like, I hope those guys are. Well, maybe I should bring them some food back. That's probably what we're thinking. But back then, switch back to Kyrin. You just saw Andal do a whack-a-mole on one of the guards down.
So now I'm looking down the tower, right?
Yes, you are looking down the tower. If that's what you want to do, yeah.
Okay. So.
From your position, you do see the other guards that are in melee combat with Talash. So they are in your view.
Can I see Andal and Talash?
You can't see Andal because Andal's at the base of the ladder. So I mean, if anything, I'm seeing you not looking down the hatch, but looking over the railing. Unless you're looking,
No, I'm looking
down the
back
hatch.
down.
Okay, so
I'm
you're looking
back
down
down the hatch.
Okay, so if you're
Yeah,
looking
'cause
down
I
the
came
hatch,
up and then he went down.
right?
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
right. So if you're looking down the hatch, then you wouldn't see Talash and the other guards melee fight, but you do see Andal, and you're probably able to discern that from where he's looking at, that's where the fight's happening. I mean, you still have movement, all this stuff to do, so you can go look over the rail or anything like that if you wanted to.
I'm gonna go back down. Use my
Okay.
movement to go back down,
Okay.
so that I can see both of them,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna cast Bless on both of them.
Okay. What is the range then?
30 feet.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you could cast it from the watchtower, but if you want to come down, that's fine. So.
Oh, I thought that was way higher than that.
Oh no, it's only 25 feet up.
Oh, okay. Then I can stay up there and cast Bless.
Okay. Yeah. So then now,
Scaredy caster.
That's right.
No, he's a support role. So I guess go ahead and describe to me. Actually, give me a D20 roll. Okay. So with this roll, describe to me how Bless looks now. It's not the same as it usually is, where with radiant light and cherubims and seraphims and choir and all that stuff. It's different.
So it's this different type of energy that's irradiating out from the holy symbol now, instead of it being a warming, soothing feeling. It's almost like a chill touch, like a chill that goes up through your spine.
Hmm. And may I add, like you said, you probably do the the habitual gesture of grabbing your holy symbol because that's what you know to be your
Right.
spell focus. But you do notice too is that your hand, as you're casting the spell, it's turning into that dead, necrotic hand, the new spell focus that you have, and that's where the power is actually emanating from. And you slowly realize this as you're clutching your amulet, and you don't feel that radiant energy coming from it. And you're probably holding your amulet up where you can see your hand, and you see your hand just slowly start to decompose, and the bones and the muscles are starting to expose itself. Basically, like your hand is dying, and then all of a sudden that energy, that cold energy is emanating from it, and you probably see traces of it surging towards your comrades. And then your comrades they suddenly give like a little shake because they feel like you said, that chill that goes up their spine.
But at the same time, it should be healing too, because I'm getting closer and closer to becoming my old self. So
Mhm.
as I get further and further along the experience tree,
Mhm.
I would think that right arm almost looks like it's healing. You know what I mean? It gets,
Okay, right, yeah. We'll say that not from the first time you casted the spell where it just looked like it's completely dead.
yeah.
Um, it does seem that it doesn't. If anything, it didn't decompose as much. Almost like it's fighting itself, in a
Yeah.
sense. Right. Hmm. All right. That's anything else you want to do? I mean, you guys now have a D4 to your attacks and saving throws, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if there's anything else you want to do, any more movement that you want to take, or just want to stand your ground behind Andal?
Well, above them.
Above? Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, you're above him. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So then with that, we'll move on to Andal. You
Actually, it
just felt,
should
is,
be
is it who?
them.
Oh, yeah, it's them. Oh, I delete one guy and I delete the whole thing out. Okay, that's okay.
You know,
All right, so these three guards still on Telesh. And Telesh is still parrying and and dodging out of the way of their spear attacks. One of them does get through, and again, you will be taking. I don't know what the strength is. Oh, that'll be 4 points of piercing damage, as probably one of them nicks your forearm as you were trying to parry the other spearman. And actually, hold on a second. Let me go ahead and give myself a D100 roll. I'm going to do a D100 roll. Oh, hello.
Something explode?
No, something doesn't explode. I did my own little morale check. I was gonna say if they, depending on what they roll, I did a D100 and I rolled an 11, which is pretty low. So I'm gonna say that they're not disengaging from you guys, but now you guys would have advantage on your attacks as they're slowly realizing that their weapons are pretty much useless against a dragonborn with the martial prowess that you have. And then with that, we'll move on to it's still Andal. It's still your turn.
okay. Well, then I approach in probably one that is not as or paying a little bit more attention to Telesh than me,
Mhm.
and I slam him in the back, and I think I'm gonna
So
try
okay,
again.
all right,
Nice.
definitely. So with the one that was attention diverted, you found an opening, and you slammed him twice. What weapon were you using? You just
I was
slamming him?
using that's my hammer.
Oh, it's your hammer. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was totally unprepared for the attack. So I mean, you probably hit him. I would say along. You've probably found some uh, like along his upper torso,
Hmm.
but on his back. You felt like bone give way as you slammed in the next attack.
Hmm.
Well, of course, there's no sound or anything like that, but you could feel it through your weapon.
Oh yeah.
And sure enough, you see him like buckle backwards, and then I mean, through your battles before, you know when you down an enemy, and you pretty much know that is as a result of his next action is that he slumps back with his back doubled back, like he's grabbing his back with excruciating pain on his face, and I mean he dropped his weapon and he's now lying on the floor. If anything, he's out of commission out of the fight. He's probably going to slowly die from his internal injuries that you've caused him.
Okay. And then I'm going to turn to the next guy, and I'm going to take my shield and basically ram it down at the back of his knees. Oh, jeez.
Okay, so let's see. Oh wow, really? I rolled a 6.
Oh, well, there's a surprise for you. So,
Right.
Yeah,
So when you say ram it on his knees, what I see you doing is after you whack the other dude twice in the back, you probably step forward while the other guard still has attention at Celeste, and with the I'm not gonna say with the with the with the front of your shield, but I'm gonna say with the bottom of his shield, that bottom, like as if you're gonna stamp his foot, you aim it at his knee,
mm-hmm.
and again you
Make
don't
him collapse.
right again you hit him at the right point. You see him buckle, you see his knee buckle, you see the pain in his face, and he's on the floor and he's holding on to it right now. So he is prone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, if anything for flavor, you probably broke his leg. We'll say his right leg, and that's the reason why he is prone on the floor. And he takes six points of what would be piercing damage, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just say he pulled a mafia and took out his kneecap.
Alright, so currently he is prone. Anything else you'd like to do?
Oh no, that's pretty much it. That's all.
Alright,
That's all my moves for right now.
Alright, and then with that, Celeste, you just see one of the guards buckle right in front of you from Andel's attack, while the other guard is poised and ready to strike again with his spear.
I'm jabbing at the pink one.
You're jabbing at the pink one. So all attacks towards the pink guy. Mr. Pinky. Alright, so
You said we have advantage on attacks?
you have advantage attacks, yes, because they're breaking morale. So these all hit. Oh wow, okay.
That could have been bad otherwise.
Yeah.
Smack Andal again by accident.
So, I guess describe to me how you put this guy out, because you've done enough damage to put another guard out.
As he was getting distracted by issues, as I whipped around on him, as Dalash whipped around on him after taking out his other friend, gave a staff crack between the legs before whipping the staff back around and clocking him on the head before giving him a throat punch, then knock him on his back and dead on the ground.
Yes. I mean, like, obviously, you guys don't hear the bone crunchy sounds of stuff like that. But then each time you guys strike these guys, you do know when you deliver the death blow. And just like you said, he slumps to the floor from his knees and slumps down to the floor.
No, throat punch, knock him back.
Oh, knock him back with a throat punch. Were you gonna say that you knocked his neck back? So like he's like a Pez dispenser?
No, just punched him in the throat, crushed his throat, and that was the kill strike that left him falling limp to the ground, backward, tipping over backward.
Okay, right. So when you did that strike, his immediate reaction was to grab his throat, and then for a slight second he's gurgling. You see blood trickle down the corner of his mouth, and then you see him give a slight inhale, and then all of a sudden he starts, but of course there's no sound, and just blood dripping back as he falls back. And then with that, go back to Rhythmthar. Go ahead, give me another perception check.
Mr. Munchie's over there.
Nom 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 nom. Is this also still with disadvantage?
This is still with this would still would be with disadvantage, yes.
All right. Nom
Yeah.
nom 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 nom.
Yeah, that food is very, very tasty. But I will give you one thing. As you're probably walking about, you're taking I guess survey of these prisoners, and there is there is a prisoner that kind of fits a description of something or was somebody mentioned to you, but you need to get a closer look at him. So we'll see on the
Not
next
Katie, is it?
from from your current position, you're too far away to discern if it's a male or female. You would have to
Okay.
get. Um,
Gotcha.
and with that, we'll move on to Kyrin. So you see the oh, well, I don't know if you see him if you're actually looking over.
At this point, I'm gonna head down the stairs.
Okay. So yeah, you immediately head as you head down the ladder, and I mean you see a few of the guards, which you perceive to be dead. I mean, if anything, you do know that they're dead because as soon as you're coming down the ladder, you feel that that surge of energy of that tension. You know, the bloodlust is coming over you again.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's applicable to Kyrin's situation as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll say that's what you hear in the back of your head. Nom 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 nom. Nom, nom, nom. That's it. That's to be the calling card. Whenever there's a dead body, there's a strange little voice. You don't know if death is just playing a joke on you, but you hear that.
That is always playing a joke on him.
No. Yeah, that's what you. That's what I say that. That's what you hear. You hear that nom 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 nom.
Well, I
It's
can't
enough.
let an
Yeah, go ahead.
opportunity pass me by, so I'm gonna start harvesting.
Hey
Souls.
guys, I gotta take off. I got bad stuff happening at work. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. All right, man. Go ahead. Take.
All right.
Fine. All right. I hope everything's all right.
As long as nothing exploded.
Yeah, hopefully
Well,
nothing.
given his job, something might have.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Valve or a seal, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still can cause a lot of damage.
Oh,
Yeah. Heck, just the natural gas well leaking is kind of a problem out here in Southern California right now.
Mhm.
It's been leaking for over 90 days, and they still haven't plugged the damn thing. They literally have a 3,000 home evacuation area right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Mhm.
Just look up the Porter Ranch natural gas leak. And
Oh yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Carmen, let's see. How many times did we see it? It was a bonus action to harvest souls while in combat. I think that's what we said. Or
Are we
was
still
it-
in combat?
You might have
so.
said it was, but
Yeah, we never were specific about it. Well, I mean, I would think it would be something that you could still do in combat. We'll say will be your bonus action, as it's a touch. I mean, it's not like a ritual or anything where you actually have to stand over the dead body and pray. It's almost like you just walk. Not that you just walk by it, but you do take a couple of seconds to actually touch the body in order to absorb the soul.
Okay.
So it's something that you could. I'm saying that you can do it as a bonus action, so that I mean, just in combat for meta or whatever, you can actually use that ability to gain a slight advantage in combat if need be. But it will be a bonus action on the dead body.
it
But
just occurred to me, Kyrin has become a necrophile.
unfortunately, you were unsuccessful in harvesting that first soul.
Right. So with
Uh,
my,
mhm.
so I want to try to knock the dude with the broken leg out. I don't want to kill him. I just want to knock him out.
I do have a question. When you casted Bless, doesn't that hit 3 people? So you could hit yourself too, right?
Yeah, he could get
Oh yeah,
himself. Yeah.
we could do
Yeah.
that.
So go ahead and do a D4 roll for that 7. Maybe you'd still be able to harvest a soul.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, there you go.
Bazinga.
All right. So you feel a rush of energy as as you absorb the soul through your dead hand, as we call it, and that num 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 noise goes away for the moment.
For the moment.
I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna keep using this. This is great. Num num num. But maybe it sounds more like num num num, not num num num. For dramatic effect. All right. So then, with anything else you're gonna do, Kyrie?
Now have a chorus of deep-throated Talash group doing the song in the.
I want to incapacitate the guy, so I don't want to kill him.
Okay, so you're just gonna try to knock him out non-lethal. Okay.
Yep.
So just go ahead and do your attack roll, and then we'll just do non-lethal damage.
Do I do that with a weapon or something else?
Yeah.
You can describe to me how you do it.
I'm gonna take the butt end of the flail where
Okay.
my hand is and just kind of clock him on the head.
All right. So just go ahead and roll attack. This will be with advantage. Oh, there you go. You crit. So it'll be 13 points of non-lethal damage. It is enough to knock him out. And go ahead and tell me how you knock him out. I mean, aside from is there?
So as I walk away from pulling the soul out of the dude next to him, I just walk over and hit him like upside the head with a butt end of the flail, knocking him over.
All right, so then he is knocked out. You got knocked the fuck out. So yeah, you guys are now not in combat with a unconscious guard at Kyron's feet. What would you guys like to do now?
I'm gonna dispel silence,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm gonna ask these guys. Okay, when we bring this guy to, we can ask him any question. We can ask him how we get into that cave.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Andal will help secure him. Make sure that when he does wake up, he's not going to be able to move or make any sound until we start questioning him. There'll
Exactly.
be
So
cloth
gag him.
in his mouth and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
And he's going to be tied to the base of the pillar thing there.
Okay.
Of the watchtower.
All right. Okay,
And
so
as soon as he's secure, Andal is going to then go check the edge of the cliff area there and see if anything has been disturbed or if there's any signals that Rindalthar is trying to send us or anything like that.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a perception check as you're doing this.
No.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna tend to Talash's wounds.
Okay. Talash has wounds?
Yeah, he got
Took
hit
about 8
twice.
points of damage.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that's right, huh? All right, so there you go. 9 plus creatures. Wow.
9
Creatures
plus
max.
max hit dice number. Okay, max number on my hit dice would be D8.
That's a pretty good. Is that? Oh, that's a. Okay. Yeah. So.
I think that's different. I think it's actually supposed to be your max hit dice. So your level 6, it'd be +6.
It'll be plus
Right.
6, yeah. Not the actual hit die, but how many hit dice you have.
Yeah.
Right.
Either way, that puts
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
50
maximum
total.
number of hit dice.
You know, so
Yeah.
no hit dice, yeah. That's cool. Well, that's put
either
you
way,
at
it puts me back up to full.
Okay.
Right.
So
Yay! Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's an awesome feat. Yeah.
Yep. That is an awesome feat. With your perception check, no, definitely you're preoccupied with this unconscious guard at the moment. But I mean, you are looking down and trying to observe anything, but at the moment you don't perceive any sense for alarm or anything, or if there's a if the camp has been alerted. I mean, if anything, the camp looks just as the same as it was as when you first infiltrated the place.
Okay.
I suddenly feel the urge for bloodlust.
You're
Crap.
still blessed.
You still
but
have your
can't-
D4,
you're
but
not
you
gonna
won't be
get
able.
it.
You're not gonna get that
I
that
won't
one.
miss that one. So how many more dead dudes
There's
are there?
4 more.
Uh,
Oh no, 3
three
more.
more
3 more.
are
3 more.
dead.
Because this one is still alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 3
Holy
more.
crap, again? Look at that. I rolled the same thing twice.
How can the same shit happen to the same guy twice?
So there's one more.
Uh-huh.
2 more.
Two more. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Look at that.
Oh, you got a D4 with that one. You might be able to get it.
Holy crap.
Oh,
Ooh,
there you
Oh,
go.
got it.
You not clutch. Nice.
1 more.
Roll something else. Roll a different skill before you go back to Harvest Souls, and then
I
see.
guess.
Just a random one, and then go back to Harvest Souls.
So
Perception check to see if death is screwing with you.
Yeah. There you go.
So all of a sudden you hear the dum 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 dum. Currently, how many hit points do you have right now? Are you at
He's
max?
maxed out. He
You're
hasn't
maxed
used
out,
it.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm maxed.
Okay.
So this is just XP, basically.
it's just
Yeah,
XP.
you still have one more, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have
I
one
do.
more. Wait, is he 1, 2, 3? Oh, he had only 3 more, right? Because he failed.
No, well, he had 3 more after this this one here, because he did the one back here. That's
Right.
1, and then these 3 here makes it a 4. There should be a 5th guy
Oh, yeah, you got
dead.
one more. Yeah, you got one more. You do
Yeah.
have one more.
Good
Look
lord.
at that.
I don't know, dude. Maybe you should just
That's
roll the
screwing
dice.
That's such bullshit.
That's
So random.
ridiculous.
Give me one more. I just want to see if there's a change. Okay, yeah.
Look at that.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, well. What can you do? But okay, so you out of all those souls you were able to harvest
2.
2.
2.
So that will be
I think that's only 50.
50
Yeah.
more XP. Yeah. More XP. Okay. So and then you did your healing on Talash.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So currently, what would you guys like to do? I mean, I know we've lost a member at the moment. Well, let's see, he's still on, but I guess he's on mute.
Well, I mean, he was checking things out. I would assume that he would probably go
Yeah,
get
I
a
don't. Yeah.
closer look.
Mhm.
You can probably roll for him if you want.
It might have been he had some sort of emergency come up and he just dropped everything. He's not even at the computer, so.
Well,
Right,
yeah.
right. True. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick 3 minute bio break, drink break, whatever you guys need to do.
Go take a leak and listen to another round of num 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 num.
Doug, you still got to go at 2, right? Or is it? Or you can still? Okay,
Yeah.
so 2. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, we'll just take a quick break and then we'll wrap it up to where we're at right now. So then.
Well, we can interview this guy.
Yeah, you can do that. I gotta get that. I gotta get that ring total, whatever that is. I'm just gonna have minions
Really
playing in the
scary
background.
thing. Somebody has set that up as a 10-hour repeat.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
How would you? I mean, well, I guess it's not that hard to set up as a repeat, but still. This is funny. No.
I'm surprised you guys hadn't come across that before.
I mean, I have the movie, so, but no, I haven't come across that 10. Wait, you know what? Maybe I have. I just don't remember. I know there was something like a 6 hour. Oh, I don't know if it's the same thing though. But yeah, cool. See you guys in like 2 minutes. Like, oh man, my coffee's probably cold now. All right, yeah, 2 minutes. Be back. Alrighty, let's see. I'm back. Who's on here right now? Anybody on right now? Or is it just me?
Yeah, I never really left.
Oh, okay.
I watched
I'm
Num
back.
Num Num.
Oh, you watched none of them? Cool.
All right.
Oh. So, guess I'm not gonna eat that bagel. That's all molded. Damn it. I don't know that ever happened to
Moldy
you.
bagels, breakfast of champions.
Yeah, like you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat this, and all of a sudden you go, oh man, it was sitting out for too long. Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, is it everybody back, or is it just waiting on Carmen?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, okay,
Everyone's
cool,
fine, yeah.
cool. Alrighty, let's see.
Damn it, that's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the.
That's your fault. So, no. Yeah, it's supposed to be stuck. Damn it! Thanks a lot, Steve. All right. Like I have like an urge to watch Minions now. I mean, I don't know why, but So yeah, so now you currently have a unconscious guard tied to one of the timbers of this watchtower,
Hmm.
gagged, and yeah, I guess what are you guys planning on doing next? Currently, you don't see Rinothar. He's lost amidst in the crowd. I mean, you tracked him as far as you can, but as soon as the fight happened, you lost track of him as you
Okay.
return back to where you last saw his position.
Okay. Yeah, I think we probably best bet is to wake him up and ask him some questions.
Yep.
Okay. Um, I'll just give him 1 point of healing to wake him up.
All right. So, you do your, I would say, probably like a lay of hands on him to
Yep.
give him back his 1 point of healing. And he slowly starts to stir.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'll look him straight in the eyes and I'll say, we're going to ask you a few questions, and it would be in your benefit to answer them as truthfully as possible.
You see him. He winces in pain slightly as he slowly moves his right leg that was broken by you,
Mm-hmm.
and he nods his head as he winces in pain. He's like,
Okay. And then I will carefully remove his gag then. So
ask your
first
questions.
first question is, do you know these caves, the smaller caves around the area, do they link up anywhere?
And you see him. He thinks for a moment, and he says, "That's not part of my duty. No, I don't know if these caves link."
Hmm. Oh.
And then he slowly like turns his head and he nods in the direction of one of the dead guards. He knew.
Well, Kyrin, can you do anything about that?
I can. Um, I can certainly do something about that. I can cast Speak with Dead.
Okay. What
Although
is
I
he?
don't
What do
have
you?
it written on my thing. It's
Yeah,
not
is it
written
one?
on
Of,
my spell thing.
it's not one of your
Um,
prepared. Is it one of your
you didn't
prepared
prepare it?
spells?
Nope, it's not. Shit.
Hmm.
Dope.
Dope.
Hmm.
Nope.
Do you need the large tent? Who resides in that one? Uh, closest to the cave. The one closest to the cave.
Wouldn't you like to know? Give me a persuasion check. Not that you want to do an intimidation check.
I'll do intimidation.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna actually take my hammer and kind of hit it into the dirt right next to his broken leg.
And Talash is adding a little extra intimidation.
Look him
All
right.
right.
I mean, as I do it, I'm actually keeping eye contact the entire time, so I'm not even looking.
Okay, I
It's
got
just
you.
I'm going off of memory where I know his leg to be. So, and I'm gonna put it real close to his leg, and then I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, I asked you a question.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you an advantage with that intimidation.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, you strike the ground in front of him, and I mean, you don't blink, and of course, like when he sees the hammer get raised and the hammer come down, he winces in pain, knowing that it's gonna come, and then as he hears the thunk on the ground, and he looks, and you purposely missed,
Mhm.
and he slightly he gulps, and he tells you, he says, a few months ago, oh, Mistress Resmir set up this camp, but it's Manda that handles the everyday operations here.
Is Mandath in residence right now?
I believe she's there, but she often goes into the cave.
Okay. Okay. How many guards does she usually take when she goes in the cave?
I do not know the specifics of her detail, but what I do know is the guards in the cave are part of her elite unit.
Okay. Hmm.
Ugh. He readjusts himself.
What's in the cave?
Mandath.
Um, I've never been in there myself, but what I've heard, it's around the camp they call it the nursery.
The nursery. Okay.
For dragon
You
eggs?
I, like I said, there's rumors that Mistress Resmir has a clutch of dragon eggs there. Uh, I don't know if they're if they're gonna be hatched or what, but that's what I've heard around camp.
okay? Speaking of the dragons, have you ever seen the big blue dragon around this area?
And he nods his head and he says, I've seen him during the uh, recent attack on the town in the northeast, but I haven't
Not
seen.
here at
No,
this
I
camp.
haven't seen him here.
Okay. How long have you been actually with the cultists?
This I only been a part of this cult movement a little bit over 2 years.
2 years. How long have you been stationed here at this place?
Um, just about a month and a half ago.
Month and a half. Okay. Okay. So,
How do we get in?
Then he looks at you and he doesn't understand. Like he has a confused look. Get in.
How do we get in to the cave?
Hmm. He lowers his head and he shakes it and he says, "I've only seen um, a few guards and mostly the kobolds and their other kin. The they look like them, but they have wings, and they usually bring those carts in that we've taken from the hordes and the stuff.
Were you part of one of the raids?
I was stationed here.
I
you
ran
never
to
went on
grab his
any of the
broken
other.
leg
Oh,
and
sorry.
put his
Huh?
hand over his mouth and grab his broken leg and squeeze and say, "I don't believe you."
Go ahead and give me a insight check as you trying to see if this guy's telling the truth.
Insight, insight, insight.
Yeah, let's say
Yep. You know.
right. Um, as he winces out in pain, and you saying that you don't believe him. If there is any type of, I guess, connection with the soul, as you probably have now, in a sense, um, you you sense that, if anything, you know that he might have been part of the raid, but then again, you're not too sure. Well, I'm not saying it right. Um, that he might have not taken partake in the actual raid itself, but he might have been, part of the logistics of like bringing back and forth the treasure, stuff like that. But he probably did not partake in the actual raid of the town.
Okay.
How many towns have you actually hit? Do you know?
And he shakes his head. He's I I don't know that. I don't make those decisions. I just follow orders.
Why did you join the Dragon Cults?
I, well, the pay was good, and they took care of people. Like, I have friends, and then when he says that, he looks around at his comrades, and he stops and he starts to bail. And he's probably slowly realizing that joining up this cult was not a good idea. So now you got a you just made a guard cry.
Mm.
Do you think he has any more information?
I don't know. So, do we know anything about the prisoners, or we probably don't know? We don't know anything about.
We know that there are prisoners. We saw them from up here.
Yeah, yeah. You saw that. Yeah, exactly. You saw
We
prisoners
can
working.
tell that they're prisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're chained and manacled, like kind of like a ball and chain kind of thing. But I mean, if anything, you see that their hands are chained, and you do see a few at the stake, so to speak. It's like yeah, that are still, held captive. It seems that if you were going to observe the camp, you'd probably be able to see that, they probably rotate them out. Like they'll put the rest away, and then they'll take another set out and have them work whatever menial job that they want them to do. And you could tell that they're prisoners too, because I mean they're not like treated well. I mean they're they're, how you say, they're wrangled, and
Mm-hmm.
that kind
So
of
I'm going
thing.
to ask about the prisoners. Tell me about the prisoners. Where are they from? Who are they? And what do you plan to do with them?
They're just our captives. They're just for menial work. Servants, if anything. Or, and he slowly gulps, and he says, "Are slaves."
Slaves.
And he also adds that they're from the different towns that we've raided.
Like greenest?
And he nods his head.
Well,
And then he it's it's almost like he's overcome with guilt, and he starts to bail again. And he says, Sometimes we 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 feed them to the drakes.
Really?
But those are the ones that died that died out. I have nothing to do with it. That's another. That's them. That's not me.
It doesn't look like you're treating him very well.
Drakes. Where are the
Perhaps we should
drakes?
take him to the Keep of the Iron Fist and treat him in a similar fashion.
When you asked about the drakes, he said that um that's the other thing that you might have noticed after he said that. I mean, now you might have seen a couple around the camp. They're
Hmm.
basically probably there might be like one or two chained at a post or something. But he says that he tells you that most of them, through his sobbing tears and everything, that most of them are within the nursery.
Okay.
Whoa,
So,
when's your next raid? When's the next raid?
And he shakes his head. He goes, I don't know. We're just waiting on to hear from Mandath.
I'm gonna grab his leg again and put the hand over his mouth and say, "You're not telling me the truth."
Um, from what he's well, of course, Winston Payne. He's saying that after he probably released his mouth, he says that it's only Mandoff that would give the orders when and where they're going to raid, but he doesn't know like when the next one's going to be.
How many people of the camp go on these raids?
And he said, it it varies. They usually send about half our force here, but we pick up in mercenaries and other bandits along the way, or like throughout the green fields. And I mean, that's what you definitely notice is that this camp is not just dragon cultists around. I mean, you do see a myriad of what seems to be like different mercenary groups and stuff like that.
I don't know that we can get in that cave without having some sort of distraction or some way to get in and out without
hmm.
being. I mean, it's too many to take on.
Yeah, I know. That's why I keep wanting to find an alternate route in
Mm-hmm.
that we could.
Come in the back door.
Yeah. Um. I don't know. Do you think we should retreat a little bit and take? And I point to the dead guy there with us. Do you think that you could
Yep.
question him in the morning,
Yep.
or
I can do that.
okay?
I will send Rindlethar a message
Okay.
and tell him what our plan is so that he's aware that
Is
we're
it is it
gonna
that's the
head
sending spell,
back.
right?
Yeah.
Well, how's that work? Is just like a piece of paper shows up in front of him, or
No, it's a message that he hears in his head.
oh, is it message he hears in his head? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So
Num num
so.
num 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 num.
Ah, don't have any other things.
Right. So you send you. I must say you
There
do.
it is.
You send. So what exactly are you telling Grindelthar? Just so that I know.
We have possible information coming from a guard about an alternate entrance into the cave. We are
Oh,
retreating into. I don't know how many words that is. Uh,
Retreating to forest.
retreating to forest for questioning.
okay.
Hurry,
Hmm.
find us at as soon as possible.
Is this something that he can respond back to, or is this something he hears on his end?
Yes.
Oh, he can. He can
Yes.
respond back.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, you wait a few moments, probably like a minute or two, and you you I'm thinking it's like a telepathic connection kind of thing. Is that
Hmm.
what it is? Okay. So you hear Rilithar's voice in your mind, Kyron. And what you hear from him, he's saying is no, no, no. No. So he says, um, um, I see I will be back as soon as possible. However, I found somebody that we might be interested in, and it's not Katie, but I
Okay.
believe it's Leosin. I found him among the prisoners here, but I will meet you guys in the forest as soon as I can.
Okay.
And if anything, that's where we'll pick up for the next session. All right. So yeah, now you know he discovered Leosin's what he believes to be Leosin is
Who
one of the
is
prisoners.
Leosin again?
He is the master of that one monk, Nisim something. The monk that told the monk that told you about the temple Chantia being burned and everything, and then when you guys before you guys set out, he said if you can keep a lookout for his master.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I believe Arguin has the choker, but we don't know where Arguin is. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Arguin, we said he went to Candlekeep, and of course, you still don't know where Katie is
Yeah.
at the moment.
One quick question I want to ask this guy.
Uh-huh.
Um, the guards that you were replacing, do you know any of them?
He starts to bawl again. My friends.
How long have they been a part of this cult?
We were part of the same batch,
How many more from your same group?
and he shakes his head and he shrugs. He doesn't know the definite number. He says I don't know, but he looks at you with teary eyes. But you killed my friends.
Huh. Yeah, we gotta get these dead bodies out of here, don't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that if we take all of them,
Yep.
it
Then I
could look
can
like they just ran away.
exactly. They all just kind of. Yep. Exactly.
They just fled in the night.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dang. Where was that cart of stuff that hasn't been looked through yet?
Oh, that's all the way down below below the arch tent by number 3. So
Oh,
it's like
okay.
it's down there.
Oh, okay. Dang. If some of that stuff could have gone missing too, then it would have
It would have been a little more, yeah.
more
Um,
believable.
you guys can definitely do that if I mean when we pick it up again. But just realize that it is a lot of bodies that you guys are gonna be hauling off, and
Yeah. Well, and how far away are we from where we left our horses and stuff?
we'll say you left your horses I would say at least 100 feet away.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
then I'm gonna call Rana to us, and then he'll help
right,
drag away the the bodies as much as possible.
right, yeah,
Um,
yeah. That could be done.
Actually, we
But yeah,
shouldn't drag them. We should make sure to make it look like a lot of people are walking or whatever
Exactly.
in a certain direction.
all right.
Hey,
Mhm.
you,
Why?
Kyron, you have that dead spell, right?
Animate dead.
Yeah. That's we can
How
make
many? How many
we can
can
make them
you?
walk out of
How
here.
many can you animate? I mean, I don't know.
I
Well,
believe
we
Well, I
I
just
guess
can
need
only
we need a
animate
like. Oh,
one at a time, but once it's animated, I can animate another one and then another one.
is it like a first level spell or something? No, it's not.
I think it's
I
relatively.
thought
I
it
think
was
it's like a
second.
like a three. I was thinking like third level, but I have to double check. But yeah, yeah, it could be done.
Animate one, have the one pick
Uh,
up one body, and then start walking.
And start walking. Yeah, just start
it
walking in your
that's
direction.
that's funny. I don't know if you guys ever like. I haven't finished the book myself, but have you guys ever read the uh, Legend of Drizzt books? The very first one.
Where he's
Well,
still in the Underdark.
yeah, we're still in the dark. Well, have you guys read that one? Because
Been
there's
over
a
10 years.
well, from what I remember is that after they attacked the house of was it House of something? I forgot what the house was. Well, basically, yeah, they killed off the house and they killed everybody in there. And then after they killed everybody in there, all the clerics from their house came over and just animated all the dead and just had them all move all because I guess like in the Underdark, it's considered good form when you attack another house to keep it,
Hmm.
to keep the evidence. There's no evidence of it happening or something like that. Because then if it's known, then the other houses will basically get on you, that kind of thing. I just
Their
thought that was
primary rule is don't get caught.
yeah,
Doesn't
don't
matter
get
what you're
caught. Yeah,
doing, just don't get caught.
yeah. I thought it was kind of like, oh, that's kind of. You just had a bunch of clerics come in. They're like, okay, animate all the dead bodies. Come in, come follow me. That's basically what happened.
So I could only animate two because I only have two third level spell slots left.
Oh,
Okay.
at a time. Well, I mean that. I mean, yeah, that
Well,
takes care of those two. But
yeah.
and I'm pretty sure you guys will come up with other ways how to do the other guys.
Talash will throw two over his shoulders.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, you guys don't. I mean, well, not to share in your planning or anything, but I mean, you had an idea that these guards were probably coming in to replace the other ones, so you don't necessarily have to move all of the bodies.
Well, somebody's going to come to replace these guys,
That's true.
and
But
I don't.
Not in a
I think
rush.
our plan is we don't want to leave any dead bodies behind. We know
Well,
that
yeah.
there was
The
right.
main idea is to make it look like they kind of just took that opportunity
Yeah,
to run away
up and
rather
left.
than
deserters.
yeah, deserters.
Yeah.
And since they kind of all know each other, it kind of makes some sense that they might be planning
Exactly.
together.
They had second thoughts. They weren't feeling quite right about everything, and
Yeah.
then
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, and then we can your zombie ones. I don't feel very good about just letting them go, but your zombie ones, if you could raise them and have them just keep traveling in a straight line
uh-huh.
away for like your full time that you have them under control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use a bonus action to mentally command any creature made with this spell if the creature is within 60 feet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but you can also give it a command to just do something.
Yep.
Like you say, walk that way,
Yep.
and
That's
just
exactly right.
they would just keep doing that while they're under your control, which is
That's
24
right.
hours.
Oh wait. So if they go out of that range. Oh no, the range is 60 feet to
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 actually command them,
to actually
yeah.
command them. Okay, I got you.
But they're still under your control for that entire time.
24.
Oh wow.
But the downside is they don't disappear once you lose control of them. They just become undead zombies roaming the countryside.
Oh, so some poor farm boy is gonna get killed by a zombie.
That's the downside. Yes.
Num 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 num
No,
num.
they see what happens. Oh god.
But then again, I don't know if Andal knows the full extent of the power. So I mean, I know it, but and Andel's thoughts are probably that, if you get them up and walking and walk, away to give them a trail to follow, then
Well, I don't know. Would Andal? I mean, give me a card. Would he actually be okay with the undead roaming about?
not really, no.
Yeah. Ooh, Oathbreaker.
Well,
I'm gonna have an anti-paladin too.
well, it depends on where his knowledge is of this. If he thinks that that's actually what happens, or if once the spell ceases, they die again.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have some notion about it, but of course, Kyren being the caster would probably know more. But I mean, you would know about it too, because well, paladins don't have a animate dead or anything like that, right?
No.
I don't think so. Yeah, no. But
No, most of our stuff is healing and protection.
yeah, protection. Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
So is this a pathway up, like from right here?
Yeah.
This-
Yeah. Yeah.
So this
It's a
gets
pathway.
us up to this level.
Yep. 3. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's also ladders. There's a ladder here, and we probably should remove Rindlethar's rope.
Yep.
But yeah, but I've basically called Rana, and Rana is gonna be coming to meet us, and so Rana can carry several bodies as well.
Okay.
And I can use the zombies to make it look like it was like a path of people walking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, we'll pick it up from here. If anything, yeah, you guys can put that in the camp. We haven't used that in a while. The campfire thing. And then
Well, yeah, a lot of times when we have breaks in the game, you have 5 seconds.
Mhm.
Right.
What are you going to do in those 5 seconds? I don't know.
Yeah.
right. So yeah, and then I guess I'll see if I can send a message to Renethar. Just keep him updated. Hopefully everything's fine at his work. And I gotta
You're
get a
still
hold of
recording, right?
Steve. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. You know what? I might as well stop the broadcast because we done. No.
Yeah.
You guys ever heard blah blah. Heard any word from